Hi, I'm Guyleen. Welcome again to Colorful Stitches Design Studio. So today we're talking about the old vintage blocks made new, reimagined as a modern block. So what's on the agenda for today? Crow's nests. Are you ready? Hold tight. So let's take a look. This is what we have. Crow's nests. And this is the original clipping from the Kansas City Star. And it says, for using prints, that's what it's saying up there. And it's giving you, suggesting one white square, and it says fold on goods, fold on goods. So they had a big white square that they fold into quarters, and that's what that was. And then there was four white triangles and four, quote, figured triangles. I'm assuming that means print. And then they have four white rectangles and eight figured or print rectangles. The bottom text says, here is block may be pieced in sections. The long strips form squares, as do the two triangular pieces. Allow for seam allowances. Boy, have you guys gotten spoiled that we actually give you seam allowances now on quilt pieces, put together to form a crow's nest. This was copyright or appeared in the Kansas City Star newspaper in 1933. Can anybody else guess what happened in 1933? Post it in the comments. And given this block, what other names do you know this block by? You may want to check in Barbara Brockman's book, The Encyclopedia of Piece Quilt Patterns. This is what I would call the Bible of piece quilts, right? Bible of blocks. And there's lots of them, but look at that's like serious, okay? And again, how did we reimagine this? Wow. Wow. Oh, wow, 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 wow. So this is my reimagined block. And as you can see, we'll put this up on top of it. That center square is not my center square because we like to use as quilters these days standard quilt block sizes. So we don't get, we got to put it together, and especially if you're going to make a sampler quilt or something. So this block is one, two, three, is a 9.5 by 9.5 inch finish. So each segment is a 3 inch finish or a 3.5 inch cut. And you can find this block in a lot of places. I think this particular orangey, kind of tangerine orange, makes it look very modern. And this is a very gentle cream and it's clean lines. And I think the maker back in 1933 would have been very, very proud, even though we did not use figured fabric. All right, next up, we're gonna just kind of like take these as a go. This is fun. This is fun. So here it is. Oh, I don't even have to take it out of the paper. Now, Eveline Forland, I guess that's how you pronounce her last name, was one of the great block designers that was featured a lot in the Kansas City Star. So you see, and she has this um, stylized signature. Let's call it that. A very stylized signature, and that's how you kind of know because it's kicking. All right. So this one, another one, again, this is June 21st, which is kind of nice because we're in the month of June right now. I'm doing this recording. It's the 10th and not the 21st, but this was published in June 21st, 1933, again in the Kansas City Star. And they say an easy pattern for little girls who make quilts. Don't you want to fall in love? All right. So that's the Puss in the Corner. It's got 5 dark squares, 15 light squares, and there's 4 figured. And evidently, figured means prints. So there's 4 printed squares in this, and the bottom text says, let's peel this back. Several requests have come for a quilt which a little girl made piece during vacations. Come on, Grandma. Mimi's out there. It's vacation time for your granddaughters. We look over our files and selected Puss in the Corner as a easy pattern, which makes a pretty quilt. Allow for seam allowances. All edges are straight. This is a repeat pattern, meaning once you make one block, you connect it with multiple blocks without sashing. You could add sashing to it, but it may not have been designed that way. I personally would have put sashing around it. How did I reimagine that block? Wow. Wow. Look how graphic and dynamic that looks. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Anyway, do you have another name for this block? Do you know it by another name? If you do, post it in the comments. This one, I believe both of these are the same finish sizes. Yep, yep, yep. They both finish at 9 inches. So pieced together without sewing together, they're 9.5. I'm just moving strings. 9.5 inches. And one day, if you follow me long enough, all of these blocks will go into a sampler quilt, and we have multiple sizes, so you'll have fun on figuring out where they're going to go. It's sort of like a puzzle. So, what is this? Puss in the Corner. And what is this one? Crow's Nest. How's that for a quickie of the day? Anyway, it's always fun to share vintage blocks as I put this away. And so I have this in archival paper and stuff so that I don't fray it. It can keep it nice and smooth. Again, I have about 300 of these things. So we're going to go through quite a bit of them. I didn't make them all over again, but I made a fair amount over again. So I look forward to sharing with you. Happy day. Happy quilting. Bye.